this because I did this for my team. Everyone's wondering, they want to know, how do I do 700 apps? So first thing I do is I break the number down. Okay. So I want to do 150 in October. I want to do 400 in November because there's 4 weeks. And I want to do 150 in the last week of December. I do a ton of business when all the procrastinators go, oh crap, it's almost over. So I leave my last 2 weeks really open on purpose for all the, oops, I waited too long.
Yeah.
So I've already hit my goal of 75 for September. So how do people, they ask me, how do you get ready? I've been training my body for AEP since the middle of August. I wake up 5 minutes earlier every day. I reset my alarm. I wake up 5 minutes earlier, 5 minutes earlier, 5 minutes earlier, to where I'm used to waking up at 2. Then I go to bed a little bit later, a little bit later, a little bit later, a little bit later. It's hard. It's hard. Okay. There were several times last AEP where I was crying, wanting to quit. You know, you go through all the emotions when you're going through a war. That's how I look at it. It's perseverance. I look at it as the guns are behind me. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And so it's going to get hard. So I break it down. You know, how do I get 700? Well, for me, I have 1,750 clients. And so if I can get 1/3 of them to give me a referral, how many apps am I going to write?
About 450 just from that.
Okay, so I'm already 2/3 of the way to my goal without having to try. And I know every one of those I can compress down to a 10-minute appointment, no problem.
Yeah.
So that covers half my goal right there. So now I only need to get 300 the hard way. So what's the hard way for me? Well, one of the big initiatives I took when I went out into the field was I was getting, during AEP, 5 to 10 appointments from Humana. Now, COVID killed that, so I don't get that anymore. I get inbound calls instead. But I used to get 5 to 10 appointments a week, and they were like, just show up and write the application appointments. There was no moving parts to it. And so I leveraged that. So now I changed that to inbound calls. So anytime I have a break in my schedule, I'm just going to log in and take calls. The second thing I did when I first went in the field, I was like, okay, how do I do something different? Because what I was trained on was go to the doctor's offices, go to the food banks, go to the income housing facilities, go to all the places everybody else is going. Well, again, I want to be different. So I didn't want to go everywhere where everybody else is going. And so what I did was I went to financial planners, and I still think, I'm telling you my goal, but I don't care because I feel I'm better at it than you anyway. So Edward Jones is the one I picked. I have 40 or 50 Edward Jones advisors that give me anywhere between 10 and 100 apps each a year. And during AEP, I leveraged that relationship. Hey, my schedule's crazy, but I'll reserve 2 days for you and your clients only. Here's the time slots. You guys call your clients and fill them up for me. So then I show up either at their office or on a Zoom call, and now I'm doing 10, 15 apps in a day guaranteed. Others let me do a presentation to all of them at once in a Zoom call. And then they all call to get appointments. So I'm leveraging my referral sources, which for me is financial advisors and doctor offices. I haven't even added one. I just used the 13 banner clinics I got that fell in my lap. I earned it though.
This is important too, because you talk about Edward Jones. A lot of times people say, oh, you know, well, they have a service where they can write it. I think the same thing about State Farm, where they have their own med sup. Here's the thing, guys, they don't want to do it. Even if they have somewhere that they're supposed to do it, they would rather a broker help their clients on it that they know is not going to bite the hand that feeds and take their life insurance or long-term care or whatever they're writing them. And and most of them really, especially at Edward Jones, just want them to have money in the market anyway. So you're easily able to build that. We've actually found a big niche with State Farm. You know, State Farm agents do not want to do Medicare. They give them Humana drug plans and a State Farm med sup to write, but they know it's not a good deal for everybody, and they don't really want to learn it. They want to stay in their lane and do P&C in life. So you can build them with State Farm agents too. And, you know, when he's talking about building these referral relationships, it's not like everybody you walk into is going to say yes. Some of them are going to be assholes. Johnny actually stopped by because he didn't start doing this as part of his thing. He started running kind of low income subsidy leads, but he stopped by Walgreens yesterday. He told me about it later on. He's like, I was talking to him and they were real jerks. And I was like, yeah, you need to stop by 50 Walgreens and you might get a few of them.
Did he stop by empty handed?
What's that? Yeah,
Did he
so
stop by empty handed?
that was another thing I
So,
told him, that you
yeah,
can't go
yeah.
in there with expecting something. He said, and this is something you guys don't do for sure. He said, he came in and said, "Oh, you know, how many people are you having to help with their drug plans? I'll take that off your hands." They know you get paid for it. They don't look at that as like you're trying to hook them up, you know. So you do have to stop by with something in hand, whatever it is. But also, this is the way that I've heard the conversation framed better with dentists or pharmacists is you come in and you say, who do you accept? Who are your favorite insurance companies to write? Because I have a lot of clients that come here, and I just want to make sure when my clients come here that you like my clients. And so now it's like you're automatically asking, how can I help you with what I'm already doing? Not how can we work together to help? And that puts them in that's like defusing or disarming them from having that defense mechanism.
Well, it's to add to that, Justin, what I do in the beginning, because if I don't have a client there, I'm not going to lie to them because I don't want to get called on my bluff. And so I say, I would like to funnel people to you. And so I was just down the street helping Mary with her Medicare, and I happened to notice you were in the area. And I like to be aware of the resources in my community for my clients, where if they're looking for a new doctor, I know where to send them. Is this the kind of place that I can send somebody without having to worry? No, of course it is. Well, good, because I'm the kind of guy that you can send clients and you don't have to worry about them, because I'm going to make sure not only do I have their best interests at heart, but if I can, I'm going to have your guys' best interests at heart too.
Yeah.
And frame it where you're there to help them, give them something first. When I say don't go empty handed, just like Justin said earlier, even if they don't like donuts, bring damn food. Food is the way to everybody's it disarms anybody. If you walk in and go, I'm only here because I was checking out the community and here's some donuts, and then leave. Don't do your pitch the first time. Come back a week later when you're already a familiar face and you made them smile the first time. You didn't ask for anything. Build up some more rapport. Oh, by the way, what doctors are in here? Are there any of them not taking new patients? And ask more about them. Do you guys have any claim problems you're dealing with right now? I encourage you to bring me your most difficult case first and let me fix that one before you trust me with everybody. Let me help you fix something first, and say that to them, and you'll get more doctor office referrals. And so I'll break it down. So inbound calls, financial advisors. So my client referrals, I'm expecting to get 400 to 450. Another thing I did, I'm not going to give you guys all my gold, is that there's one new cool initiative I thought of this year that I'm doing to increase my referral rate. And so after AEP or at Medicare Con, if you go, I'll share the sauce on this new idea I had that's killing it right now. I just had to make sure it was compliant first, because it's one of those right at the edge of the box.
Well,
Okay.
I live in the gray, Josh. I don't.
Yeah, no, I do too, right? And so I'm expecting 4 to 450 there. I'm doing a bunch of community meetings for both Humana and United Healthcare. I'm letting them use their money, their advertising, and then I'm plugging both myself and my team into those opportunities. So I'll be in community meetings. And to me, a community meeting, if I'm doing a presentation to 30 people, by the law of my numbers, I'm getting 25 of them, period. And the way I look at things is they're going to be my client. It might not be this year, it might not be next year. At some point, something's going to change in their situation, their prescriptions, their doctors, the plan they're on, something's going to change. And I want me to be the first thought they have. So the people I can't help, I'm also training. Look, I can't help you right now. However, there's going to be a time when something changes. Your doctor retires, he dies, your insurance agent dies, something's going to happen. And I want you to think of me first, because if there's any better home than where you're at now, it's with me. I look them in the eye and I say, I'm going to treat you like my mom, and it's not lip service. My mom can call me at Saturday at 9 o'clock at night, no problem. And I tell every one of my clients, you can call me at 9 o'clock at night, no problem, any day of the week. And I'll probably answer because I'm a grinder and I'm up anyway. But if you give them that comfort, you separate yourself. So why do I wear bright colors? Because I want to be different. Why is my car covered in my logos? Because I want to be different. Why do I go places that people don't think about? Because I want to be different. So that when I tell them I'm different, they have no choice but to say what? I love to paint people in a corner where they have no option but to tell me yes. Okay. So practice how you word your questions. Practice what you're thinking. And when you start asking questions in a manner where they have to answer yes, you'll find that you get more referrals, you get more everything. And so I'm counting on that. Community meetings, I'm going to guess low at 100. My doctor offices this time of year, I can always count on for 200. So where am I at right now?
You're up there, man. You're at your
I'm already at my
700,
goal, right?
yeah, you're 700, 750.
So now I'm going to plan on some of this shit failing. Excuse my language. It's going to fail on me. So then I add a few more things. So anytime I have let's say someone calls and cancels, instead of going, well, I guess I have time to do paperwork, that's the time I'm going to log in and take inbound calls.
Yeah.
And the cool part is, since I'm licensed in 27 states, I can take calls theoretically from like 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. because of the time zones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So at 8 o'clock at night, if I don't have an appointment, guess what I'm doing?
Logging in and taking those inbound
Calls.
How did you get so I know I have a couple of agents that have gotten enrolled in the inbound concept. Did they reach out to you to do that, Josh?
Yeah, basically I'm a killer without putting it lightly. So they like I said, they used to give me in the beginning, it was leads and appointments. So I would get 5 to 10 appointments a week. And my closing percentage was the highest in the entire nation, including all their captive agents, everything else. I closed 92% of every lead they gave me. What they didn't know is I closed like 7% of the other ones. They just went to a different company.
Yeah.
So well, I don't miss. I don't miss. Why? Because I make it a position where they can't tell me no.
Yeah. I have another agent that's got the inbound Humana, and it has been a big asset. So if any of you are, looking for that kind of thing,
make a relationship with your agent manager.
Now, unfortunately, what's crazy is people ask me for marketing dollars, for instance, before they've submitted an application.
Yep.
If you're not writing any business and you reach out to your broker manager, you should reach out with the idea in hand of how can I help you now with something you actually need help with. Do not be asking them for inbound phone calls, because Josh's success has not been built on inbound phone calls. That's actually where he's placing that's probably his least favorite thing to do, but a great thing to fill voided time with, because 100%. The inbound phone calls are going to be his least loyal clients, and he's going to have to work harder to build that loyalty virtually. So a lot of people would kill for those inbound Humana phone calls, and they're great, and I would try to get them if you can and you need them. However, the financial advisor, the client referrals, and I guarantee you the doctor's office referrals are going to be the most loyal clients that don't leave, that do whatever you tell them to do with the shortest amount of time on the phone. So anyway, but definitely I knew people would ask about that, Did you subscribe to the YouTube channel? Did you like the video? Please turn your notifications on and head over here to our next video. And if you haven't joined our Facebook group, check out Medicare Gurus. It's over 7,000 members strong currently, and there's tons and tons of wealth of information and knowledge from experienced agents as well as new agents that you can find and help shepherd. So thank you guys so much for watching. Check this video out right here.